In the agonizing aftermath of Jay Slater's tragic disappearance and confirmed death, a storm of silence, speculation, and suspicion has engulfed the grieving family. Now his devastated mom, Debbie Duncan, is lashing out not just at the trolls who continue to spread cruel conspiracy theories, but at the very person she once hoped would help uncover the truth. The independent investigator she believes is withholding vital information. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. In a raw and emotional plea, Debbie broke her silence once more, accusing the investigator of fueling a toxic frenzy online and playing a dangerous game with information that could bring her family peace. "This isn't a Netflix drama," she said. "This is my son. If you know something, just say it. Stop teasing the public, stop winding up the trolls. Just help me lay Jay to rest with answers, not riddles. The heartbreak that won't heal." Jay Slater, a 19-year-old from Oswaldtwistle, Lancashire, vanished while on holiday in Tenerife. Days later, his body was tragically recovered after a high-profile search near the Masca ravine. Though initial reports suggested an accident, the circumstances of his final hours have been cloaked in mystery. His mum, Debbie, has fought through waves of grief and trauma while also being targeted by online harassment. What's made her anguish worse is what she claims is stonewalling from people who promised to help but instead left her in the dark. "There's an investigator who said he had the truth. He promised us closure. But now all he does is drop cryptic clues and then disappears," she said, voice trembling. "It's cruel. It's become a circus." The investigator who stirred the pot. The man at the center of Debbie's frustration is a former British private investigator who claimed to have unearthed key evidence, possibly even audio recordings from the hours leading up to Jay's death. While initially embraced by the public and media, his tactics have since drawn criticism. In multiple online appearances and social media posts, the investigator hinted at a cover-up, saying he had spoken to witnesses and uncovered discrepancies in the police timeline. But instead of disclosing concrete details, he released vague statements and dramatic teasers. "It was like watching someone drip-feed a thriller novel online," said Debbie. "Except this isn't fiction. This is my child. We were desperate for real answers, but we got riddles and radio silence." Debbie now believes the investigator's tactics have kicked off the trolls, a wave of online users who began accusing her family of everything from staging the disappearance to hiding evidence themselves. Some even claimed Jay was never really missing. A grieving mom versus the internet. For Debbie, the pain of losing her son has been magnified by the online abuse she's received. "They said I did it for GoFundMe money. That I lied. That Jay was never real," she said, holding back tears. "No parent should have to deal with this after burying their child." Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. The fundraiser, which raised over £70,000, was originally meant to support the search efforts. Debbie recently released a full breakdown of the spending and closed the fundraiser, hoping to end the backlash. But the trolls didn't stop. Many of them cite the investigator's cryptic messages as fuel for their twisted theories. He kept saying, "There's more to the story," or "I know who was with Jay that night." But then he vanishes for weeks. "The trolls filled in the blanks with poison," she said. "It gave them permission to turn my son's death into entertainment." Debbie's ultimatum: just say it. Now, Debbie is making a direct appeal to the investigator. "If you have evidence, real evidence, bring it to the police. Bring it to me. Don't post it on TikTok. Don't tease it on YouTube. Just say it." She claims the family had high hopes when he first got involved, believing his background in investigations and law enforcement could help uncover the truth Spanish authorities allegedly missed. At first, he seemed to genuinely care. He said he was working for justice. "But lately, I don't know what his motive is anymore," she said. "Is it clicks? Fame? I just don't know." Debbie believes he is hiding behind drama and prolonging the family's agony for reasons she cannot understand. The mystery still haunting Jay's final hours. Jay's last known movements were chaotic and confusing. He left a party at an Airbnb in the remote hills of Masca in the early morning and attempted to walk back to his accommodation over 10 miles away. Phone records and a series of garbled calls to friends suggest he was lost, possibly frightened, and low on battery. The terrain was treacherous, the weather scorching. His body was found after days of searching, but questions remain. Why was he so far from safety? Was he alone? Did he fall, or was he chased? The investigator previously hinted at having audio clips of Jay's final phone calls, including one he allegedly made to a friend saying, "They're after me." But none of those recordings have been released. If that clip is real, give it to the police, Debbie repeated. Not to influencers. Not to conspiracy channels. The truth doesn't need suspense, it needs justice. The human cost of silence. As the online drama escalates, Debbie warns the public not to forget the human toll behind the headlines. I'm not a character in some plot twist. I'm a mom. My son is gone. And every day that someone chooses to hold back information, they're hurting a family that's already broken. She says the family's trust has been shattered, not just by online trolls, but by the very people who claim to help. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We invited you in. We gave you our hearts, hoping for help. But what we got was hints, hype, and a hurricane of hate. Debbie adds that Jay's younger siblings have seen the abuse online and are traumatized. One has even started therapy after reading cruel theories about their brother. They've had to grow up overnight. They lost their brother, then watched strangers mock our pain. And all we want is for anyone, with real answers to stop playing games. A plea to the public. In the face of cruelty and chaos, Debbie Duncan is calling on the public to remember compassion. Before you comment, before you share some mad theory, remember Jay was a real boy. He had dreams. He was loved. He was mine. She's asking people to stop spreading misinformation and to stop giving platforms to those who profit from her son's tragedy. Don't reward silence. Don't reward drama. Demand facts. Demand truth. Will the truth ever come? The case of Jay Slater continues to haunt the UK. Every day, more people ask, what really happened that morning in Tenerife? Was it a tragic accident, a moment of poor judgment, or something darker? Debbie says she can live with pain. She can live with grief. But what she cannot live with is a mystery, one that is being twisted for views and likes, while her son lies in a grave with more questions than answers. Please, she begged one last time, if you know what happened to Jay, just say it. Do it for him. Do it for all of us who still cry ourselves to sleep every night wondering why. Closing words. As the internet churns out theories and silence continues from those who might hold the key, one mother's voice breaks through the noise. Not with anger, not with rage, but with a desperate, unrelenting cry for truth. And for her son, Jay Slater, the boy the world keeps forgetting was real. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.